You know what game I've been playing a lot of recently? Well, that's no other than Sonic Riders. This game was actually one of my favorite Sonic games from the Dark Age. Granted, there's not many competitors to steal that title, but nonetheless, this was a very fun Sonic game. Even if most of my playtime consisted of me losing over and over and again to my brother. But that's all in the past. What about the modern day? Well, Sonic Riders is just as fun, and now that I'm actually good at the game, it's arguably even better. Like, when I was getting footage for this video, I was genuinely surprised at how much fun I was actually having. It was a blast. But this is not a review on Sonic Riders. That is something I definitely want to talk about in a future video. For now, we're going to be talking about something much more interesting. A new fan creation is planned to be released very soon. That being Sonic Riders DX 2.0, which is an entirely new version of the original Sonic Riders, except with the addition of some quality of life improvements, texture edits, and more playable characters. I'm going to be looking at all of this today, but first and foremost, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind while watching the rest of this video. Number 1. This is not a finished build of Sonic Riders DX 2.0. I was given this beta build early to play and give my thoughts, so just note that some things may or may not change by the time you get to play the final release. Also, just a side note, there are no biases in this video. I am speaking my full thoughts, and I'm not influenced by any outside sources. These are my honest opinions, nobody else's. Number 2, I am looking at this game blindly. Despite me hearing about Sonic Riders DX in the past, I have never actually experienced it. This is my first time, so I might cover some details that were included in the first release of Sonic Riders DX. Which, by the way, you can play Sonic Riders DX 1.0 right now. If you are interested in playing that, I recommend joining their Discord server and grabbing a download link down below. Anyways, with that said, let's go take a look at this game. Yeah, that's how the game loads up. Okay, now some may consider the lack of title screen to be a flaw, but honestly, I've played this game plenty of times. I just want to load in as fast as I can. I don't really care. This is actually saving me time. If you care so much about the title screen, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Anyways, something you will notice right off the bat is that these menus are goated with the sauce. It's still arranged the same way, but now it has an entirely new aesthetic. A new font, new colors, it's more flashy, even the music has changed. Something that's really cool about this mod is that the menus, and even the tracks, all have randomized music gathered from Sonic games and other games in general. This is surprisingly one of my favorite new additions, because when I'm replaying the racetracks trying to get faster times, it greatly helps with making the game not feel stale. Like, say for example, I mess something up on my run, when I go to restart the track, new music starts playing and it's refreshing. Like, oh hey, it's 7 Rings in Hand, that's neat, man. You know something else that's neat? How about more playable characters? Now this is what tickles my fancy. The new playable characters are Silver, Metal Sonic, and Chaos Zero, all of which are great choices for new characters. Now, I can't really speak on whether these characters are good or bad to play with, because to be quite frank, I play this game like a filthy casual. I'm pretty good at the game, I could beat the average person, but I'm not a professional who takes these stats seriously. I don't really care about all of that. The only thing I care about is if the characters look cool to play, and if they are a speed, flying, or power type. Other than that, I don't care. I don't even pay attention to half of the gear I equip myself with. I am here just for the fun of it. With that said, I still love the extra playable characters because that stuff is cool. Most of my playtime here has been with the new characters because Metal Sonic being in Sonic Riders is so cool. But it doesn't end there. Every single character in this roster has 3 new skins to play with. If you know me, I love cosmetics in Sonic games. So as you can imagine, I love this feature. There's even some special skins that are direct references to other characters such as Metal Sonic having skins that call back to Mecha Sonic Mark 1 and Mark 2, while also throwing in a nice Shadow the Hedgehog skin. Amy Rose can become Honey the Cat, Shadow can become Mephiles, and Storm can become the Werehog or Big the Cat. I love these skins because they're such nice callbacks to other characters from Sonic games. That's the kind of stuff I like to see in cosmetics. With that said, most of these skins are just color swaps, and look, there's nothing inherently wrong about that. I'm just happy that cosmetics are even here to begin with. It's just that it makes me not want to play certain characters that don't have special skins. And I'm not ignorant to realize that from a development standpoint, it does seem quite challenging to come up with a new special skin for every character. So this is not a result of them being lazy or anything. The fact that they went out of their way to design these special and unique skins implies the opposite, actually. I think I'm just a spoiled brat. What else can I say? The final thing we need to cover before we get into the gameplay changes is the changes to the gear. Alright, so I just want to preface this again. I am a casual player. I don't really care about what gear I use. I just use a gear that I think looks cool. So I can't give an in-depth analysis on all of the competitive potential that will come out of this. With that said, this mod allows every character the ability to use every single gear. You can now customize these characters to the fullest extent, so you have the best chances at winning races. So essentially, you're able to get jiggy with it, you know what I'm saying? Again, I didn't find much use out of this, but I'm sure that this is something that competitive players will find as a nice upgrade. Now, it's time to get into the fun part of the video, the gameplay. Alright, so I can't analyze all of the gameplay changes because I might miss some of them due to me playing this game at face value. I don't have time to compare and contrast, but I will talk about the stuff I did notice because, oh man, there are some pretty great improvements in this mod. First of all, there is a new texture pack that looks pretty slick. For some tracks, it just up-res the textures to look a bit more modern, while other tracks take on a completely new appearance. Splash Canyon is now Green Hill Zone, which oddly works pretty well, and then there's my favorite, being the Babylon Garden track, which now takes place in the final area of Sonic and the Secret Rings. I can't emphasize how well this texture pack just works on this stage. Like, this has got to be some of the best work I've seen from any texture replacement mods. It's still very much the same track, but it gives off such a nice new atmosphere to everything. But if the texture pack isn't your thing, you can still just remove it and still have the same changes to the gameplay with the alternative skins and whatnot. The textures are optional, and I can understand if someone prefers vanilla. There's nothing wrong about that. Well, anyways, after you get past getting wowed by the new track aesthetics, then comes the gameplay changes. Now this is what makes Riders DX a W, in my opinion. This mod subtly adds a lot of changes to make the flow of the races a lot faster by cutting out the fat. What do I mean by that? Well, allow me to show you. Do you remember these sections that every single track on Sonic Riders have where you just spin the control stick while watching an annoying cutscene? Well, in Sonic Riders DX, they completely took that out of the equation. Now, when you reach these cutscene moments, they just speed up so you can get back into the race in a short amount of time. Also, you don't have to spin the control stick anymore. You can just sit there and let it do everything for you. It doesn't seem like a massive change, but when you play Sonic Riders and Sonic Riders DX back to back, you can notice how much this one feature greatly improves the races in the game. It just cuts out all of the unnecessary fluff and it allows me to get right back to the race, and I find that to be a killer feature. This alone is what now makes me want to play Sonic Riders DX over the original. Considering that this game is supposed to be an upgrade from the original, I would say that this means that it was successful in its objective. Another thing that Riders DX improved upon was the shortcuts in the races. In the original Sonic Riders, I always found the shortcuts to be the best part about the game. It was just so satisfying to pull off a shortcut with a specific character you were playing as. And on top of that, it just added so much replayability to the game. Now, somehow they improved the shortcuts to make them even more satisfying. Now, when you jump on a rail or start flying, the shortcuts are sped up, greatly making them much more valuable when racing. it actually made finding these shortcuts genuinely addicting. The more satisfying shortcuts and the shorter cutscene sequences have made me play this game for a lot longer than I needed to. I'll be honest guys, it's been a crazy week for me. There's been a lot of people visiting my place and all that, so most of my energy has been spent playing Zelda Wind Waker while they were here. To put this into perspective, when I had to get footage for Sonic Riders DX, I got so immersed and genuinely addicted to the game that it made me drop Wind Waker for a bit. I had so much fun recording today's video. It was an absolute blast. And the best part is that all it took was these changes in the pacing within the tracks of the game. Everything just kind of flows together so well, and it made the game so much more satisfying and rewarding to play. You know, there was actually a change to the free race mode in the game where it just completely took out the CPUs. So essentially you were just racing alone in the game with no other opponents. I spent so much time in this mode, it's kind of ridiculous. The fact that I found a racing game fun without the actual racing part is telling of how much fun Sonic Riders map design and controls actually are. This mod helped tremendously on selling that point by just making everything much faster. Free race was pretty cool in this game. It helped me learn these tracks a lot more than I had before, and it's definitely one of the best features. If you still like the old free race mode, which featured CPUs as opponents, you can enable them with a gecko code, but honestly, I prefer playing alone in the free race mode. Other than that, there are some other smaller but still cool additions that I'm going to list off here. One of them is that you can actually overcharge your drift to higher values, similar to how the Sega and All-Stars racing games allows you to. You can tell if you're overcharging your drift by the color of the streak that your hoverboard leaves behind. There's also the fact that you can taunt while racing, which, wow, this is cool. This is awesome. I really like one of Shadow's taunts where he just kind of spins around and cheers. Man, that's pretty cool. But it's not as cool as the new super forms that were given to Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Shadow. These are all pretty cool to mess around with. And Sonic still has Supersonic, so if you want to just do some classic old Supersonic, you can still do that. But there's more to it. On top of playing Supersonic, you can also play Hypersonic. Sonic is the only character that can go into his hyper form, but this is just awesome nonetheless. I mean, like, look at this. You can't tell me this ain't cool. Now, all of these things are just the icing on a well-baked cake. These are just some extra neat details that you can mess around with when you're racing throughout the game. But I do want to mention that I probably missed out on some details that more experienced players with the game might be able to pick up on. So with that said, I implore you to check out this mod once it finally releases because I had a blast with it, and I'm playing the beta version, so I'm very excited to see what will come from the final release. If you want to stay updated with this project and its possible release dates, I highly recommend you join their Discord server in the link below. Also, if you want to play the 1.0 version of Sonic Riders DX, which includes a lot of the features shown in today's video, you can download the mod from their Discord server, which is once again linked down below. I had a great time making this video, and I hope you all enjoyed. And on that note, I love you guys, I'll see you soon, adios. My channel members are Snix, JNXV, Orion Pax, Ethan K78, John Youngrings, Epic Gaming with George, SonicMan715, ArchXYZ, Sonic Hub, Thomas Winride, Chip Chop Chop Scape, The Squeaker Nerd, Super Shax Boom, Sonic Extreme, and Super Saiyan Sonic. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Make sure to click one of the end card screens here. Love you guys. Peace out.